Hey, it's me. I'm just jumping on real quick. I'm going to be back, but I just wanted to come on and say the following video is from last week. Yes, I did not put it up and share it. So I'm going to just add it to the one I'm going to record this week. So enjoy. It's just me babbling about stuff, and hopefully it reaches one or two people and you can kind of vibe with it. If not, just scroll on. There is a book review. I had done one the week before at about the beginning of Buckeye. Now that I've read the whole thing, I went ahead and gave a quick little short version. I don't think I gave anything away. I try not to do that, just like my reaction to it and that kind of stuff. So enjoy that. Enjoy the palm trees that I tried to get in the background while I was in Florida. But it's about taking breaks and just making sure you're taking a break, whether you go somewhere or just spend 5 minutes. So there you have it. And then so that'll be me in a different outfit and a different background. And then I'll be back with my Eagles sweatshirt on after that video. So it'll be along just this video. You won't notice a difference. There'll be a little blip, and then it'll be me in a pink sweatshirt, and then bleep, back to this. So enjoy. And then I wait.
Good morning from sunny Florida. I am at my in-laws' house. It is so pretty here. That's not a real bird, just so you know, but it's beautiful still. There's a pond back there. Anyway, we came down here because Rich, my husband, needed a little bit of a breather from work. Ever since COVID, I feel like so many people have gotten the work bug. I don't know what else to call it. I mean, he's always been like this, but it has really increased hours. The hours that you give are taken kindly, maybe not so kindly from companies. Um, if you're willing to give yourself to a company from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., yes, they appreciate you, but a lot of times I feel like it would take a lot for a company to be like, you need to take some time off. And if you have a company like that, do not leave because it's rare. Because they need the work, they need the motion, they need things to keep going, and it's crazy. But anyway, he's working a little bit down here, but just being, do you ever go somewhere where it's, even if you're not fully on vacation, it feels like vacation? Even if it's, for me, um, I know I've talked about my back patio, but our patio in the house, you can hear the birds here, right? I'm showing you the bird, but something about that relaxes me. Just listening to them. I feel like they're having a great time, but they're also really busy. Um, I don't know. It's a good feeling. But what did Rachel used to say on Yoga and Other Shit? She said, if you're trying to escape from yourself, though, if you're trying to escape from yourself, there's nowhere you can go. Meaning, all your problems within are going to come with you. Not the case here, hopefully. Hopefully, he seems very relaxed here. Um, I don't think I'm sure he has problems within, but I think he's too busy to have too many problems within right now. When he retires, though, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I don't even know. Retired people, if you're listening, please let me know. If you've been busy, 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 and then you're just done and you have nothing, do you get in more fights with your spouse? Do you, um, stare at each other like, what do we do now? Or do you fill your day with things that are just busy work? Or do you go on adventures? Like, what is it? I'm in this stage where I personally just want to be home and write and come on here and talk to myself because I don't know who's listening. But also being outside. I like to be outside. I'm watching all these gardening. I cannot wait to do my garden. Um, Meaningful things. Not that making money is not meaningful, but aside from your job, who are you? Do you have your own identity that doesn't include a title from your job? These are questions I don't have the answer to. Um, would it be weird if I couldn't say, hi, I'm a hairdresser? I remember talking to a woman who used to run marathons, and she was an older woman, and she talked about her knees hurting, and that's what she had left from the marathons was the pain and the fatigue. Still, like, she just always felt tired, and she didn't look tired. She looked great for her age, but she she was tired. um and I think she was mentally tired as well. It takes a lot of mental strength to get through. I've only done a half marathon. I can't imagine doing several marathons. I have a friend who does it. I don't think she realizes how mentally strong she is to be able to get through it. And those people tend to handle things a lot. It's kind of like yoga, I guess. Handle things a lot better. You're within yourself for long periods of time, and I think it's good. I think when we get busy, we set aside our problems physically and mentally. Um, anyway, this woman, she ended up trying to think. She got, not that this is good or bad because I'm a partaker myself, but she had gone to this guy. There was a guy that came in. This was years and years and years ago, and Botox was like just coming into the scene. And she went and got some of these lines. She had some thicker lines right here, and she got these done. And they even did the little string instead of going for like a facelift. She wanted to do like a little try on. So at that point, they had just invented the strings, and not many people had gotten them done. I forgot all about this, but it wasn't a popular thing. It's very popular. They figured out how to do it in office now, which is really cool. Um, and I don't know what all is involved in it, but for her, it was a little bit more than an in office. And I don't know why I'm telling you this. I guess just because once she was done running and got her inner strength and outer strength, complete all her doing this a million times, going within herself. I think several years later, she forgot how to go within and do this. Um, and she got lost in her outside world instead of her inside world. So this little touch up that she did somehow brought her back into herself. Um, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I guess just thinking about coming here, taking a break, there was that little window in Rich's mind that told him, if you don't take a break, something's going to happen, meaning he'll get sick, get the flu or something like this. I mean, even I'm like, going on the airplane, you can get the flu, but we made it here, knock on wood. hopefully we make it back safe without anything. But my point is, and he's working now, but we were at the beach the other day and he was fishing, and he was able to not have his phone and listen to the water, and he seems to have a renewed energy. The frown is softening in between his brows. He's he's always in a good mood, but he's lighter now. Um, Less serious, less bogged down with responsibility right now. Even though it's all still there, but he can just put it up on the shelf, take a breather, get himself all refreshed, and then go back. And I think it's important that we all do this. So if you are really, really busy, you don't have to take a week. You don't even have to go anywhere. Just take a day, maybe Saturday or Sunday if you have those off. If you can't even do a day, take an hour. Go, I don't know, go get a pedicure. Guys, you can get a pedicure too. You don't need to get any polish if you don't want. And let somebody take care of you. Even if you go to a restaurant, go to a restaurant, get a meal, have somebody else cook for you. They do it all the time. They're not just doing it for you, but sometimes just doing that feels good. And then check in with yourself. See how you're feeling. That's all I got today. And the book, Buckeye, that I was talking to you about last week. Oh my God. It was all cute, and they were like young and just getting married, and wow, the war happened and people got pulled to go to the war. And I don't want to give too much away, but there were two children that were born over these years, and they take us through all the trials and tribulations of um, in-laws, and how the in-laws can support you, and you don't even realize it sometimes that your parents are also rooting for your spouse. And so there was a little bit of that in there. There was a little bit of forgiveness. There was a little bit of pride, and having to swallow the pride, having self realization. And I think I told you about the girl who had this gift. She didn't ask for it or search for it, but she has this gift of talking to people that have passed away. And these people can sometimes, the people that have passed away can just drop in and talk to her. And then the people that come to her, she can sometimes call up their loved ones and talk to them. And she never charged for it. So there was that whole story weaved into, and it was just a really cool, like, just things going on in families through the years, and um, sticking together through it all. It was a good book. And if you like, there was enough about the war, I think, that you could feel the worry and the sometimes despair of it. So I'll link it again here. Also, I'm reading Crusade of Vengeance from Joe Edel. I think that's what it's called. I'm thinking, I forget what I'm thinking of, the movie. But that has been amazing. And I had to put it down because we were coming off the beach. And so now I am itching to get it up again and read it. But we have a lot to do today. Also, Joe Edel is the one that's helping me edit my book. He did an editorial review and gave me lots of stuff to work on. So I've been doing that. So I had to put his book down to better my book with his gentle critiques. He's very good at writing, first of all, because his book is amazing. But and it's series. I will link that book here. But also, if you need any editing, whether it be um, something you need to send out to your company, like a newsletter or anything that's a few paragraphs long to an entire book, he is really good at encouraging and critiquing in a way that never feels hurtful. I think he's a great inspiration to people who are striving to be writers. So anyway, I just wanted to do all that. It's almost 15 minutes. I've been trying to keep these short because I'm just babbling, and it just helps me and hopefully helps at least one person in the world. Who knows? You never know. But here we are in Florida, down near Naples, and it is sunny and beautiful. And I hope you are somewhere where the sun will be shining. And have a great day.
Hi, back to today. I have my blog post that I've written up that I still need to post, but I haven't yet. My dog is playing with a bowl today, so hopefully she doesn't eat the rug that's down there while we're reading. I'm just going to read it to you because it's easier, and I don't have to try to pretend I can remember things. And I'm going to wait for her to finish. I'm going to go get the ball for her. You hang on. All right, so she's funny. I have another one just in case, but I don't like to exclude her from these things. I'm being inclusive, you see, with dogs. But the other dog doesn't want to come up. Charlie does not want to come up. So sorry about that. I'm sure you'll see her in some other form if you pay attention to any of my social media stuff. Anyway, so last week, which was the video you just watched, I talk about taking breaks and how you need to make sure you take breaks, whether it's a week away or a couple days away or a couple days just at home away from your computer, or even just 5 minutes to sit and breathe, put your feet up, scroll mindlessly through social media or whatever you like to do. Maybe what is it called, mahjong? I like to play that. It's different than the in-person game, but it's like more like a matching game. It's fun. Anyway, that kind of thing can just lower your blood pressure, bring your heart rate down, de-stress you a little bit, get your mind focused on just one thing, not all the things. Anyway, so that's what that was. So playing off that, and it's sort of it's a yoga theme. I always do this. Mila, my yoga teacher, talks about how we are connective beings. We need connection. We share, an electric vibration that we are connected. We are attracted to connection. So anyway, so I'll read this. So I did a yin class, a Galentine's Day yin and sin. That's what I called it, because we did yin, and we actually opened Prosecco and sipped on it while we switched just to like get you really into the relaxation if you need help with that. But a lot of people, the people that came, which weren't a lot of people, but a small little intimate group came, and they can relax without that. But we enjoyed a little sip, nothing crazy, to go with our strawberries and our chocolate and all the other treats. So here we go. So I wrote, after leading my Valentine's Yin class with a room of women breathing together, softening together, laughing together. I got on a plane. Originally, I thought, I need to get away. Rich needs to get away. I'm going to do this. I can't believe I'm doing this crazy thing on the day I'm leaving, but I wanted to do it on Valentine's Day for some reason. I just did. In the morning, you're not busy in the morning, hopefully. Anyway, so the class, actually, I had 3 people. And I'm so glad I only had 3 people because we all connected. It was very beautiful. I'm not talking about me. I did such a great job. I'm just talking about their vibe. Their connection was felt. It was sisterhood themed. So like you can have really, really close, like your friend can be your Valentine, your Galentine, hence the reason that is a thing. We had slow poses. We shared energy. It was a kind of day where they all needed to rush out, but they didn't. I mean, they thought they were going to get up right after Shavasana and take off, and they didn't. They all lingered. They all ended up chatting, and I chatted together, and we had a good time. So anyway, that evening I boarded the flight thinking what I needed most was space, and that ended up setting me up for this space that I thought I needed. Quiet, alone time, a break. And that's what Rich needed. Because I've been talking about breaks and how we need to pause. And I talk about this to my husband all the time because he works. He burns both ends of the candles, and I worry about him having something happen, just getting the flu or whatever. If you work too much and you don't take breaks, your immune system is shot. So anyway, I talked about how we both, everyone needs to make sure they put in breaks, whether it's a 5-minute breather, whether you go outside and just put your face in the sun, whatever it is. I thought I was doing the right thing for myself. For him, I already know he's a social being. If we go to a restaurant, I will pick if it's not busy, if there's a few tables, I'm the one who picks the faraway table alone. He will pick the closest table to another table that is full. Not to talk to them, just to be like, he already leans into the fact that we need connection. And he says it all the time, and I'm such a hermit. It's so funny. Anyway, so I'm going into this vacation like we're just going to be at this house. If we go to the beach, we're going to have our own little space at the beach, which wasn't what ended up happening. So instead of turning inward, and we had some plans. I found myself sitting across from people that I hadn't seen in a while, and I had just met. So these are, again, it was Rich's work friend that he hadn't seen in a while. We had gone out to dinner with them at the end of the year last year, and I'm sorry about the background noise, but at least she's not eating the rug. So we went out to dinner with them, and I was so nervous, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never met these people. I don't know how to behave. I do know how to behave. I'm not going to do anything crazy. But I get all worked up. Anyway, had the best time. The couple was so nice and so interested to know about us, and it just made me feel like I should be doing this. I should be leaning into these people. Hey, don't break my furniture. So anyway, I made plans. I reached out to her, Jan, and I'm like, hey, we're going to be down there. We can ride up and go out to lunch with you or something. And they were busy, and we had another plan that we were going to do too. So we settled on Wednesday. So Wednesday, we had to pick up my in-laws from the airport. So we had the morning and afternoon. They landed at like 6:30 or something. So we drove 2.5 hours to go eat lunch with these people. And I tell you, I'm so glad we did. It was a long drive. We got stuck in traffic. It ended up being more like 3 hours. We were late a little bit to lunch, like 10, 15 minutes. But no worries. They were sitting at the bar looking out at the beautiful water view. And they had, they were like, that's great. That's fine. So, but we sat and we had the most meaningful conversations, just about, not even about anything specific, just kind of, it was so natural and so organic. And I really cherished that connection. There was no agenda, no productivity, no networking. Rich didn't really even talk about work. We didn't have to fix anything. We could just sit and express our thoughts and go back and forth on our own thoughts of that particular subject. And we listened and we let the conversations stretch without rushing them toward a point. And we noticed something. Well, I noticed something. I don't know if they noticed. I noticed them relaxing, but I felt different and softer and calmer and less, worked up than I normally get. And so I was just like, I really need to reach out to more people that I miss and see if I can keep this feeling going. I felt regulated. I haven't felt that way in a long time, even though I'm on a mission and I have a purpose, but I'm so worked up about and excited about my purpose right now with I'm doing my own, workout. I'm the student. I'm being a student. So I'm trying really hard to do that. So it was really nice to take my own break, which I didn't feel like I needed. I thought we were giving Rich a break, but turns out I needed this break and I needed this connection. And instead of withdrawing, I was seeking for that connection. So we confuse rest a lot of times with withdrawal, or I do anyway. Speaking for myself here, but it happens a lot, as Mila talks about in the yoga classes. We think we need to be alone when we're overwhelmed, and so our instinct is to pull back. But that can necessarily be okay, but just don't pull back forever. Cancel plans, avoid interaction, hide under the blanket, and call it self-care. This is 100% my go-to choice. Do I need to get that for you? And sometimes that's exactly what we need, but sometimes we don't need isolation. I have friends that I'm like, if I say no, talk me into going, because I know what I'm going to do. And I know that if you talk me into going, I will have a good time and I will feel better for it. As long as it's not a huge party, that's a whole other. I love going, but I get so overwhelmed. My body gets all that energy bouncing off of people. Woo! But if it's going out to dinner where we're at a table with our friends and it's just us at this table, that is a totally different situation. Anyway, so we need safe connection. That's what we're looking for. At parties where you don't know what's going on, you don't know everyone so close like your close friends, that connection, that small table of friends connection, that's what we need. We need eye contact. We need to share our laughter. We need someone to relate to us, to me too, I need that too, or I did that too. That's exactly it. And just having that togetherness, having that sisterhood or friendship, if it's, it could be two couples sitting there too. Anyway, but mostly talking about women. And if you, like, my husband travels all the time, so you're like, oh, I love being alone. Oh, it's great. It's not. It's not all the time. And it's funny, if you really sit and think about it, whether it's missing your husband, which of course I miss my husband, but are you pulling into the aloneness of your house, or are you just coping with it? Hold on a second. I have to go get the tennis ball. Okay, I got it. Ready? Getting the other one. All right, so this is the pacifier. It seems to work. No, you get that one. Get it, girl. All right, hopefully I don't break the furniture. Now my hair's sticking into my chapstick. All right, so the yin class. It was, a lot of it was the subconscious merging of our energies. I know, okay, if this is too woo-woo for you, fast forward. Like I said before, like that shared softness, the laughter between stretches. Like if I said something weird as I was talking about my theme, somebody would just blurt out something and we'd all kind of laugh. My favorite part, the connection before we start the class. And as much as I really love to start a class on time, if there is connection happening, I let it happen for at least a few minutes. If I can wait 5 minutes, if there's not a class coming right behind me, which it wasn't because it was my house, it's so nice to let people have that connection to people they might not even know very well, and they have something in common. It's a community. It's a safe space, and they have this connection that they can have, whether they know the people or not. They're participating in a connection. Anyway, enough about that. So it wasn't just a yin class. It was a togetherness. It was something we were all traveling through together. And we got to repair our nervous system as a group. Anyway, so if you feel strong, this is kind of a myth, right? If you feel strong, you feel like, oh, I don't need anyone. Not strong physically, but strong as your own person. A narrative that might be going on in your head and goes on in my head, like, oh, I can deal with this. I can deal with this. And maybe I can, but should I? That's the question. So if you're overwhelmed, handle it quietly. If you're tired, rest alone. Put yourself into isolation. But strength isn't isolation. Strength is knowing when your body needs support. And I, again, like my other videos, I am still working on this. I am still very much at the beginning stages of this. And sometimes support looks like sitting at a kitchen table for hours with your friends, whether it's an uncomfortable or really comfortable conversation, but having that space to do so is very important. Talking about nothing important. So if somebody is having a very tough season, maybe have them come and sit with you and talk about nothing. Talk about anything else besides what they're going through, just to give them that relief from the situation they're living through. Being seen without performing. Here I am. I'm not really performing, but I'm kind of performing right now. But just being there, like going out in my yard and my neighbors are right in front of me. Like, do I need to put on like more appropriate? I'm not wearing like a thong or out there or anything, but I wear like beat up clothes when I go out there. I'm not trying to perform any fancy stuff for them. I'm going to be swearing and messing things up and probably killing bushes, not on purpose, out there, or pulling up dead bushes. It's just what happens. Also, letting somebody carry the emotional weight for a minute. which is really important because you don't want to do that to someone. Well, I do. I have my friends that I talk about that stuff too, but sometimes you need to, and so don't always think that you need to carry that on your own, especially if people are there and willing, especially, and they will tell you they are there for you. And if you have these close friends, and sometimes surprisingly not as close friends, that are deeply moved in ways that they feel this need to help you, let them. And maybe you don't take away all of your weight that you're carrying and put it on them. Maybe you just give them a little piece, just to give you relief for a moment. Anyway, that type of friendship or connection or togetherness is not draining. It helps to restore you. Believe it or not, it does. Just that tiny, even if it's the tiniest little bit of a reprieve or a lighter connection, that can be your break, basically, in all this heavy stuff. What is your problem? Um, so maybe you don't need to be alone. Maybe you don't need to cancel everything. Maybe you don't need a solo retreat. Maybe you need a small group retreat. Maybe you need a dinner with someone safe. Maybe you need a long conversation, or maybe you need one room with or without people where you can exhale and get rid of the weight that you're carrying. So talking a lot about breaks, those breaks don't mean distance or separation. Sometimes it is stepping away from the stress and knowing that you don't have to carry that stress alone, and you can call those people and they're right there for you. So, or your significant other. I'm telling you, like, my dog helps me with all this stuff. Anyway, it says, I wrote, I got to remember what I wrote. That's why I'm here doing this, because I wouldn't have remembered all this stuff. So when you're exhausted, this is me asking you a question, because this is what I do, or did. I'm trying not to. When you are exhausted, do you withdraw automatically? I do. Or I ignore it for a little while. I do take my breaks now. Or do you pause long enough to ask what your body truly needs? I'm going to read that again. When you're exhausted, do you withdraw automatically, or do you pause long enough to ask what your body truly needs? Think about that and do what you need to. Solitude can heal, but so can connection and sisterhood. So can being witnessed. So no one has to fix anything for you. Just them being there is enough. They don't even have to react. They can just sit and look at you. And you can release whatever burden you're carrying onto them. And those certain people will allow you to be lighter, and they'll lift you up. And that's really it. Let's see. Sometimes the most restorative thing, going back to the yin thing, but also bringing it into just being with people, the most restorative thing you can do is sit at a table with someone who reminds you who you are. And that's it. Boom. I do have some book reviews to go over. So book review part, if you don't care about books or reading stuff, then you can move on. We're done here. So I've got this book. So I'm writing a book. It was called, and it's a long long name. Lone Star Ladies Secret Auction. Now changed to Auction Girls. That is coming out hopefully next month. The guy that is helping me edit, is Joe Ettle, and he wrote this book, and I love the cover. So he has a good little collection of books that he has written. So this is the first one that I read. I'm getting the next one, which I'm going to ask him what the next one is, because I don't want to skip ahead. This book was a page turner, and I want to make sure I pick up where this one left off. So I need to ask him which one is next, but they are on Amazon, and I will link it below in the show notes. The other book that I was listening to at the same time, and I finished these books fairly quickly, less than a week, with all my book writing and editing and, sitting at the beach and stuff like that, my 2-hour drive and yada yada. The other book was from Frida McFadden, and it was called Ward D. And if you like a kind of scary, eerie, holy crap, what's going to happen, who's going to get murdered type book, that book, Frida McFadden, Ward D. My friend told me about it while we were down in Florida, and I have already finished. So that was really good. I'm moving on to the next books, but I will link those. Those are great books. This one was a really fast read, and the Frida McFadden one, I'm not going to lie, I listened to it. So I like to do that. I like to read a book and listen to a book, depending on what I'm doing. If I have to keep busy, I like to listen, because then I can multitask. But if I can curl up with an actual book, I'm going to do that every time. So those are my book recs, and I will link them down below. And I hope you guys have a fabulous day. It is Wednesday. It's in the 50s, I believe. It's supposed to get up to 60 today here in Georgia, and it looks like it's going to rain, which is okay. It's only going to rain a little. So it looks. Tomorrow, that's another story. But I just came from 80-degree weather in Florida, down near Naples, and that was beautiful. And before you know it, here in Georgia, probably another month, we're going to have some pretty warm weather. So I can handle this little last stretch of wonky weather, and we'll head into, I hope you are having a beautiful day wherever you are. Bye-bye. I'm going to take a half hour to get off this thing, so just bear with me here. Bye.